Hello, buddy, Tiggy here, and welcome to my unboxing review of the SH Figuarts Naruto Top 99 Itachi Uchiha. Yes, he's finally freaking here. I kid you guys not, I literally was checking like 3 times a day, every single day for the past like month. Maybe not month, like 2 or 3 weeks or so. I was literally checking like 3 times a day to see if he came out, man. Oh my god, he's finally here. I can't believe we're finally here, man. This is it, man. This is the apex. I am so freaking ecstatic for this figure. I just absolutely cannot wait. I have watched, I did watch 86's review and Rockshaw's review. He looks just absolutely immaculate. I mean, it is the Naruto line, so it's like a pretty much guarantee that it's going to be absolutely freaking immaculate, but it's just a matter of how immaculate it's going to be, and this is the first time we're going to be getting to look at the cloth Akatsuki robes, which is going to be pretty big because, of course, we have Pain coming very, very soon after this, after the Sage Mode Naruto, which is the next release, and then, you know, we'll go from there. We'll see who comes next. I imagine it'll probably be Kisame coming next, but, you know, we'll see. I'm personally in the Datara camp. But yeah, I absolutely cannot wait, and yeah, this is definitely like probably one of the most hyped reviews that I have in quite a while. Let's jump in to the review and take a look at the packaging, and start off by taking a look at the box here. We have an awesome picture of the figure right there, Itachi Uchiha, Naruto Top 99. We have Naruto, Bandai, Tamashii Nations, Seal of Approval right there, Studio Period. Give me Black Clover figures! Give me Black Clover figures! And then on the side, we have a nice picture of Naruto Top 99, SH Figuarts, Itachi Uchiha, Uchiguchi. Turn to Anthony Customs for a second there. On the side, you got a bunch of product shots of him right there. On the back, I mean, I just got off work, I'm sorry. We got a bunch of product shots of him right there. We have him with the sword and all that. We're gonna talk about this freaking sword accessory. I got some choice words for how they executed this freaking sword. And then we have, of course, Kishimoto's amazing artwork for the Naruto Top 99 right there. And we have another picture of the figure right there, and he just looks absolutely freaking phenomenal. Let's be real here. There's like a 95% chance that this is going to be my figure of the year. The only thing that might top this is the amazing Yamaguchi Yusei. And here we have Itachi out of the packaging, and before we put the robe on him, let's just take a look at how he looks without the robe on right here. I mean, it's a very, very generic, like, shinobi get-up right here, but let's just take a look at it right here. Head sculpt looks absolutely freaking phenomenal. Honestly, when I was watching reviews, the head sculpt did look a little bit underwhelming on the camera, so if you think it looks kind of mid on the camera, it looks a lot better in person. It definitely really, really captures Itachi's likeness in person. Of course, the Konoha headband right there with the cross through it because he is a rogue shinobi right there. Looks amazing. The hair is really well done. I will say that it kind of seems like maybe it might be a little bit off-centered, at least on my copy, because you can kind of see like the little things aren't like in the dead center of the eyes there, but it might just be my eyes playing trick on me. You can also kind of see there's more hair covering this side of the face than this side right there. Not that that's really a deal breaker or anything, but I did want to mention it as well. I don't really see any shading in the hair at all. Doesn't really look like they put any shading in there. Not too big of a deal, but you can see the headband right there. Looks like it got a little bit of a paint smudge right there on the headband. That kind of sucks. That's kind of unfortunate. That is on a ball joint right there, so that's very, very nice. Not headband, ponytail right there. Really, really, really nice. And then moving down to the outfit right here. It's pretty good. You know, they didn't do a ton of work on the outfit right here. You can see that mesh is pretty kind of crappily done. You know, it doesn't look anywhere near as good as like some of the other figures, but that's of course because you're going to be covering all this up with the Akatsuki robe anyway, so it's really not that big a deal. And you got that little strip right there as well. This piece is a little bit of a looser piece right here, which is similar to a lot of the other figures right there. And I think his head is a little bigger. It looks a little too big when you have just this look for Itachi. His head looks like it might be a little too big, but that's probably to help it look right when you put the Akatsuki robe on, because obviously you're probably going to be displaying him with the Akatsuki robe. And yeah, everything else is pretty much normal. You know, the arms, they look pretty much normal. There's the hand, there's his Akatsuki ring right there. The legs, and then the back of the legs right here. You can see the hinges right there, and then the legs right here, the bottom piece of the legs right here. Pretty similar to how they look on Obito's right there. All right, so there he is without the Akatsuki robe on. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Akatsuki robe. Here is the robe. This feels very, very, very nice. The Makima's jacket that we got with the SH Figuarts Figuarts Makima was really, really nice. So it made me very hopeful for the Akatsuki robes. And yeah, the quality on this feels fantastic. And you can see the clouds right there. You got the one in the middle, one on either side, and you can see the extra one right here on that side right there. Really, really, really nicely done. And the printing on the Akatsuki clouds is super, super duper nice. And then this is actually lashed in the middle right here. There's a little hook right there that goes into that right there. So super, super high quality. They did a really, really great job on this. And in order to get this on, I imagine we're probably gonna have to pop his hands off here. Let's just do it on camera here so you guys can see here. Probably want to move his head up so you can get the ponytail underneath there. Maybe you can leave the hands on. The sleeves are probably pretty big, so we're gonna try and leave the hands on. See if we can do it right there. There we go. Yeah, you can leave the hands on, not that big a deal. And just get that underneath the ponytail right there. Bring that down and bring his arms down right there. Okay, looking good. And now we just latch the jacket together right here. There we go. There he is with the robe on right there. Damn, that looks pretty darn good. You kind of want to open it up a little bit right there because that's how Itachi kind of wears it right there. I will say one thing I don't like is that the collar right here, I don't think it's on a bendy wire, so you can't like bring this out and it totally gets in the way of the freaking head articulation. It makes him want to like, his head just wants to constantly look down right there, which is pretty annoying. You might have to put the ponytail actually in the robe. Yeah, there you go. You want to put the ponytail down there. It's unfortunate you can't have it out of the robe right there because it looks way better, but that is going to let you have the head actually looking good. So yeah, put that in there and then just latch that together right there. And there we go. There he is with the robe on. And again, you kind of want to splay that out right there. Use those bendy wires to your advantage to make that look all Itachi-like right there. And there you go. There you have Itachi in the Akatsuki robe here. I will say he's giving me a hard time standing up, man. His legs are super duper annoying and kind of stiff right there. Kind of bend him back right there. Help him stand up a little bit there. There he is with the Akatsuki robe right here. The sleeves do cover up the hands. That is accurate though. The sleeves are pretty darn long on the robe. And of course, if you want to put him in his iconic pose, you just take one arm out and you put it right there. So you can do it, but there he is with the Akatsuki robe. And I mean, at the end of the day, obviously there's always going to be drawbacks when it comes to cloth, like cloth stuff, like soft goods is what it's called. There's going to be cons to this. It looks a little more baggy than it would when it's on an actual person. This is obviously a plastic action figure, so it's going to look a little bit more baggy, it's going to sit a little bit less naturally than it obviously would look if it was like an actual person wearing it. But the alternative to this, there was a 1.0 Itachi, and the alternative to this is the thing that they did with the 1.0 Itachi, which I think we can all agree this is much better. It's much, much better. Now, I will say it's still not perfect, but I do think that this is probably the best they probably could have done. I will say that when you have the robe off of him, honestly, he's a little bit underwhelming, actually. Like, there's not really anything to that underneath body, and of course, when you put the robe on, it looks all baggy, and yeah, so there's trade-offs here. I also will say that the red that they chose to use on the robe is a little darker than I think I would have liked. Even if we look at it on the packaging right here, I feel like it looks a little brighter on the packaging right there than it does on the actual robe right there. It still looks nice, but like even the white, not just the red for the clouds, even the white, it would have been nice if it was a little bit more pronounced, a little bit more of a brighter white. Like you can see it on the robe, on the picture right there. It definitely looks a lot more like sharper on these promo pictures than it does on the actual figure right there. It's still pretty nice looking though. And the way they did the mesh here is a little bit lazy. I mean, I guess it looks fine. It's not too bad, but I think maybe they could have had that look a little better, but it's not too bad. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else there really is to say about it. The robe is pretty nicely done. Like, the quality on it is pretty darn nice, and I like that they give it the latch right here, and you do have the bendy wires in it, so you can get some good poses right there. Have it, like, blowing in the wind right there. You can do that, and of course, I'll show real quick. You can get him in his iconic pose right here. I will say I'm a little bit worried about this latch right here, because it does kind of feel like you kind of have to bend it when you're putting it there, so hopefully that it will last over time, and then there's no way to get the sleeve to just kind of tail to just kind of hang down. You might be able to do something like, I don't know if you want a wrist like putting blue tack or something on there, but I probably wouldn't recommend it. You can just have it look like it's like blowing in the wind though. Right there, you can still see the arm through right there. So it's pretty nice, but it would be nice if this was like, I don't know how they actually could have fixed it, because they can't put a bendy wire on it, obviously, because the arm is gonna go through that and at times, and then at times you're just gonna have it hanging down like that when you want him in this pose. This looks really, really good. I definitely like how this pose looks right here. All right, let's jump into the articulation, and for that, I'm gonna go ahead and take the robe off. Also, before we get into the articulation, talking about the quality on him, honestly, I think his quality might feel a little bit weaker than some of the other figures in the line, honestly. Like, again, I'm having a hard time. It feels like he's like a lot more wobbly than a lot of them, and he keeps trying to fall over here, so that's a little bit annoying. And again, I don't really think, like, the head looks a little bit too big for the body right there. I don't know, the head this looks like a little bit too big. The joint tolerances are pretty good, although this leg right here is a little looser than I would like it to. It's not that big a deal though, just wanted to point it out. And again, this little piece right here is floating, so that's a little bit annoying right here. And then I think one of the legs is slightly longer on mine. No, they look to be about the same length right here. There's something going on here that's making him kind of stand a little wonky here. But yeah, I mean, the plastic quality, I feel like it's there. Let me grab a few of the other ones. Hang on. And he fell over right there. Okay, let's start off. Here's Naruto compared to him. Obviously, he's taller, but Naruto feels a little bit heavier, I think. The plastic on Naruto feels a little bit more denser right there. Not by like a super ton, he still feels pretty good quality. And I do also think that the details on Naruto are a little bit sharper than they are on Itachi right here. Like this mesh right here. I don't know. I kind of feel like that mesh is a little bit phoned in. Here's Minato. Minato does feel a good bit heavier, but he does have that scroll on right now, so that could do something to do with it. But yeah, I don't know. Minato also feels a little bit higher quality. And last but not least, Kakashi. This one actually does feel like the Itachi is a nicer quality than the Kakashi. Like I said in the first review of Kakashi, he actually did feel a little bit lighter than some of the other ones right here. I think Itachi does feel a little bit heavier. Might just be my mind playing tricks on me that the quality is actually worse here. I don't know. So for articulation, you of course have that awesome same setup right there. You got the double ball joint going into the head right there, so you get tons of movement right there, lots of tilt, some good back right there, and some great forward as well, because that ball joint, because the neck is also on a ball joint. You can see his necklace right there looks really, really good. And then of course, as I said previously, the ponytail is on a ball joint right there, so you can have that kind of flaring out right there. You can't get it like super flared out, but it can move around, which is really, really nice. Moving down to the arms right here, you can see the cutout right here, so you're gonna be able to get some really, really great butterflies right there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can actually get some really, really good butterfly movement right there, pretty much all the way across right there, and of course some nice back butterfly as well. And of course the arm can go all the way up right there, and it can go all the way down and sit at his side right there for neutral poses right there. You have a double jointed elbow right here, so you get pretty much full 90-degree bend right there, maybe just a little bit less, but not a big deal, not worth complaining about. You get all the movement that you really need. Two ball joints in the torso right here, and he can actually get quite a good amount of torso movement right there. Actually really, really, really nice. Yeah, he actually gets quite a bit of torso movement. That is super duper nice. You're going to be able to get him in some really, really good poses when you're not having him with the Akatsuki robe right here. And then of course you have the swivels right there as well. Every ball joint can be a swivel right there. And then you have the legs right here, and obviously this little piece right here might get in the way a little bit, but not really. You can still get a really, really good amount right there, and it looks super natural thanks to the plastic right there. And there's the back movement right there, and of course the ball joint going in right there like all the other figures right there, so you get a little bit of movement right there. These are a little bit looser than I would personally like them to be, but not too horrible. And then you have a double jointed bend right here at the knee right there, so he can kick his own ass right there, looking really, really good. And you have, of course, that same awesome posability in the feet right there as all the other figures, although he can't get the full 90-degree like some of the other ones. I think they maybe took a little bit of a took one of the joints out or something, so he can't get the full 90-degree, but he can still get absolutely more than you would ever need, so it doesn't matter. It's fine. Alrighty, now for comparison, here he is with his brother, and yes, they look absolutely fantastic together. I will definitely put the cloak on him at some point and show him with Sasuke as well how they look together, so obviously you can recreate fights or you can recreate other scenes. I will say nothing more in case anybody out there hasn't watched Naruto, but there he is with his brother, and here's also the kid version over here, so you can see how he scales with both of them. Just so you can see how he scales with both of them. And now let's bring in Naruto on this side. There you have him with Naruto and Sasuke. And let me just move them back here. And we'll also bring in Kakashi over here, and Sakura. Just so you can get a good sense of how he scales with pretty much all of the line right there. And then we'll take all these out in just a second here, but just so you can get full shot of how they all look together. And they all look really, really, really great together. I don't know if it's just me who thinks his head looks a little too big when it doesn't have the Akatsuki robe on, but I don't know. It's starting to look fine to me after messing around him for a little bit. His head is starting to look actually pretty fine to me. I think it's just the outfit, this specific outfit, that's making his head look kind of unproportional. Alright, now I'm gonna put his robe on real quick. Also, I want to quickly say I've discovered that the bendy wire actually is right around here. So when you want to get this out, just kind of find that bendy wire down there, and then you can kind of style it out like that. Just like that. So it is possible. You just have to get to that bendy wire, and it is kind of down there. I definitely wish they definitely should have put the bendy wire like a little bit higher up as well, for sure. But there you go. That really makes it look right like that. Okay, so there he is in his Akatsuki robe, and now I'll just bring back in Sasuke real quick so you can see how he scales with how him and Sasuke look together while he is wearing his robe right there. So yeah, just so you can see how they look together when he's in the robe right there. And now we will bring in Obito so you can see how they look together. They actually look freaking amazing together. Oh my god. I know it would be really, really cool if we got an Akatsuki version of Obito, if we got a Toby. That would be amazing. Honestly, I bet you'd actually be able to make one if you wanted to. You could probably find like a custom head sculpt, or hell, make one yourself of the swirly mask. And then you could probably just put this cloak on, yeah, you could probably just swap that. It would probably be pretty darn close to a Toby. You need some black gloves as well somehow, but I'm sure you could probably figure that out. So yeah, it wouldn't be too difficult to make a custom, but they probably could make one pretty darn easily. Give us a Toby. I would love a Toby. And then here's also Orochimaru over here, so you can see how the villain lineup is coming, quote-unquote villains. They're Naruto villains, so yeah, it's complicated. It's hard to describe Naruto villains because very, very few of them are actually, like, pure evil. This guy. And even then, man, like, yeah, greatest villain lineup in all of anime, no contest. But yeah, here he is with the rest of the villains that we have so far. And yeah, they all look really, really fantastic together. Of course, Pain is next, and I hope it will continue to grow. Like I've said many times, I think Danzo would be awesome. Kaguya would be super cool. And man, I have been really getting into Boruto, man. I would love some more Boruto characters. Kawaki's my favorite character. I would love a Kawaki. And then for villains, they could absolutely give us some amazing villain figures. They could give us Momoshiki, Ishiki. They could give us Jigen, Delta. So much potential. Code. And you know what, just for that, here he also is with Boruto right there. Just so you can see how they look together. They look so damn good together, man. I love this figure so much. God, I want a Kawaki. And a Sarda. Alright, and last but not least, here he is with Minato. A lot of people like to say that these guys should have fought and that Itachi would win. I don't know. I don't think Itachi would win this fight. I think Minato would have this one in the bag, personally. That's my opinion. I mean, this is the 4th Hokage, man. But yeah, they look really good together. You know what? We'll actually do one more. I do want to do some non-Naruto comparisons as well, but I do want to show, because he is a Naruto Top 99 figure, I'll bring in the Kakashi over here as well. I've actually already brought in the Sakura and the Naruto earlier. So yeah, there you go. There you can see how he looks with all of the Naruto Top 99 figures right there. Alright, here's the Sakura right there. That's the Naruto Top 99 one. And here's Naruto. This is the Naruto Top 99 Naruto. There we go. Can you see them all? I think you can. There you go. So there's the entire Naruto Top 99 lineup so far. Again, I think a Sasuke would be really, really good to get that bow and hopefully get some extra face sculpts for him. Maybe some extra accessory pieces for like a Chidori blade accessory. I definitely think a Sasuke would be really, really cool. And then, like I said, in my top 20 most wanted characters, Hashirama from the Naruto Top 99 would be awesome as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm here for whatever comes next, obviously. If they just go back to regular figures and they drop the Naruto 99 thing, also perfectly fine with me. But if they do, I would just like to say I think the Naruto 99 line was an absolute success. I really think these figures are quite great. In Minato and Itachi, obviously, since these are unique molds, I'm not really counting them in here. These are obviously brand new figures. These three, though, these re-releases, these were all fantastic, and I'm a big believer in these. I really liked these. So if this is the end of the Naruto 99 line, honestly, I'm happy it existed, because the additional face sculpts that these two figures gave us were just amazing. Alright, now let's do some non-Naruto comparisons. Here he is with my previous review, the SH Figuarts Sukuna. I still can't believe I own this figure. I love it so much. And to continue with the villains, here is Makima from Chainsaw Man. Here's Sugaru Geto from Jujutsu Kaisen. And that's the list villain I got, so here's Kenshin over here. I'm super excited. There are more villains coming from some other lines. We got Kaiju number 9 coming. We got Awashi Shinomori coming from this line. Yeah, we will be adding more villains to the collection, and I'm very excited. Although, again, I really don't consider Itachi a villain. Watch Naruto. I still can't believe I have this. I love it so much. Alright, and now so you can get a basic sense of scales with some other lines, here is the Figma Zenitsu. Here's the Super Action statue, Giorno Giovanna. Here's the SH Figuarts, Anya Forger. Oh, Anya's stronger than Giorno, guys. You see it, you saw it here first. Here's the amazing Yamaguchi Todoroki. And here's the Figma Rimuru Tempest. Just so you can get a basic sense of how tall this figure is. Now let's get into the accessories. Alright, let's start off with the alternate faces, of course. So in the packaging, you, of course, have the very default stoic face right there. Looks fantastic. Really, the faces look so much better in person. Like, really. Looking at it through the camera right here, like, the nose looked way too, like, soft, and it doesn't really, like, look, like, pronounced enough. But in person, it looks honestly perfect. And then we get another stoic face of him looking to the side right here. This is definitely very nice if you want to recreate his iconic pose as well. You get a Mangekyo Sharingan face right here. You get kind of a more angry face right here. And last but not least, you get the blowing face right here that you can pair with the fireball jutsu effect that you get from the Kid Sasuke and have that going on. I will say I do think they're missing an Amaterasu face. I definitely hope that we maybe have another Itachi release coming in the future that can expand upon him a little bit. Give him an Amaterasu face with the blood coming out of the eye. There's still a lot of potential that we could use for more Itachi. And to swap the face is really weird on this figure. It's actually really weird. So what I recommend doing is coming down at the bottom right here, this little section of the hair right there. Put your thumb there, and then you can very easily take off the fringe right here. And then the face is actually connected to his headband right here. So the headband is this extra little block right here that you remove. You get the face of your choice. You plug it back into this little block, this little headband block right here. And it's a little bit weird, but you just got to get it on right there. And then plug that whole thing back onto the face right there and plug this back on. It seems to be a really good thing because the Orochimaru has problems where, I can just show you very easily. So Orochimaru, he has a similar way, his fringe is very similar to Itachi here, but because of how he goes, this is like almost never sits flush. You can always see this crack right here, it comes right off, and the face always comes off too. And also, the thing I probably hate the most about it is that it never feels like these actually go on. Like, you can still see, oh, this is focusing on Itachi, you can still see a little seam right here, and you just can't make it go away. It's really unfortunate because, I mean, the Orochimaru figure is really great, but that little issue is kind of annoying. But luckily, Itachi does not suffer from that same issue. This face sculpt is really nice. I really like this one. And now for alternate hands, of course, you have the fists on in the packaging right there. And I want to point out that they did give him his freaking fingernail paint right there. And that is on every single one of the hands. His fingernail paint is on every single one, which is a nice touch. And to go with the fisted hands, you have a pair of relaxed hands. You have your jutsu hands or your Sasuke hands. Although, really, that's not what this is. They didn't include that. Oh, man. I'll save it for the final thoughts. We get a pair of Gur hands right here. They always include these. I don't know why, but they're nice. They're expressive. You can get some good poses with them. And then you get this hand for holding the sheath of the sword. You get this hand, which honestly, I'm not really sure what this one's for. You can put like a kunai on his thumb right here. So there's that, but I'm not really sure what that is exactly supposed to be going for. Let me look at the box real quick. Yeah, I'm not sure what the intent is for this hand, but I mean, you get it, and it's nice. You know, just options. And you get one for the other side as well. And last, you get the hand for holding the hilt of the sword. And now for the Naruto 99 accessory, this is definitely the weakest one, I think. So you get the sheath with the sword right here. This does not go in, and this does not come out. It's just this. It's stuck like this for all eternity. And then you get the standard sword right here. You get the standard sword right here. So you can have him holding the sword if you want to, but yeah. What? These swords are the exact same size. There is no difference in size right here. This is just pure laziness. I'm going to call it out. This is pure laziness, not just going and letting the sword go into the sheath so you can pull it out. You can have the empty sheath. You can't even have the empty sheath because you can't pull this out right here. So you have no option to have the empty sheath right there or anything. It's stuck like this permanently, or you just give him the sword right here. This is horrible. I have complained about it so many times in the past that I'm not a fan of the new way we do swords, where we have the sheath right here and the thing and you pop it out. I've always said that it's fine because it works, but it's a lost art to just have the freaking sword go into the sheath. And this is the next level of stupidity right here. This is just ridiculous. Luckily, I don't plan on having this anyway, so it doesn't matter to me, really, but still, I definitely think that this is probably the most egregious example of this new version of the sword feature for action figures that I have ever seen. But if you want to have him holding the sword right here, you only get the hand for this side. So again, they don't give you a hand for the other side as well, which is just like, yeah, it's not good. It's not good. I don't like that. But yeah, pop that off, and then you can give him the gripping hand for this side right here. Be careful. Just make sure you don't break anything. And then you can slot the sword into his hand right there if you want to. And I mean, it looks good. The sword does look good. It's just a absolutely egregious example of, it's like exactly what you should not do when designing a sword for an action figure is this. All of this. Don't do this. This is dumb. But yeah, you can have the sword, but you know what I'm going to do with this sword? I'll show you what I'm going to do with this sword. I'm going to do this! This can work as a standard Zanpakuto for your Renji. It's not absolutely perfect, of course, because this is what the handle should look like, but hey, I mean, it's red, and it works. It looks good, so if you want to have Renji with a standard katana right here, just pick up Itachi right here. I mean, you're probably going to be picking up Itachi anyway. It's Itachi, and then you can give him the sword right here. So it's not a complete lost cause, and I mean, maybe you might even be able to use this as well, honestly. You might be able to put that, like, right there, and have a pretty good drawing the sword pose right there. So finally, this works as a good upgrade for your Renji right there, which is nice. I think I called him Sanji, didn't I? I think I called him Sanji. So at least the sword had some use. But luckily, this gripping hand can also be used to hold a kunai. There you go. And of course, you can take the robe off of him if you want to have him a little bit more dynamic looking with it. Or, I mean, hey, leave the robe on right there, and you can have him holding a kunai right there. Just take one from your Naruto or whatever. I mean, he doesn't hold it perfectly because, of course, this hand is not meant to hold a kunai. They didn't include an extra hand right there. But yeah, still looks pretty darn good, and he's still trying to fall over right there. All right, let's jump into the final thoughts. This one might be a little more, interesting. So, final thoughts on the SH Figuarts Itachi. So, here's the thing. It's very, very good. It's really good. It's just as good as, like, all the other Naruto figures, obviously. But I feel like this one actually would rank pretty, like kind of low on the list, honestly. I'm not going to say exactly because that could absolutely be a video I can make in the future, ranking all of the figures. I might do that once we get Pain, because there'll probably be a pretty good gap before we get Shikamaru after Pain. So, I feel like that would be a good thing to get right there. But this is, I don't, like, there's so little you can do with it. You don't get, like, any really cool accessories, and the Naruto 99 accessory is a total bust on this. The only thing good about it is that you can use it for your Renji right there, and that's only useful if you also have the SH Figuarts Renji, which is a great figure, so I highly recommend getting it. But, yeah, the Naruto 99 accessory, in my opinion, is a complete dud. This is the worst example of how not to do a sword. Actually, no, this is the best example of how not to do a sword gimmick for an action figure that I've ever seen in my life. And I mean, aside from that, all you get is face sculpts and hands, and I do think you're missing some very crucial face sculpts and hands. Like, this jutsu hand does not work for a Sasuke dunk hand. It needs to be more like this. This right here, you can see the finger is like pointed upwards. You're gonna have such a hard time using that. This is what you needed for that. You need to have like the fingers kind of curled down a little bit like this, and he needs to be able to do that. You're not gonna be able to recreate that pose with this figure, at least not easily. This is not gonna be easy to recreate that pose. It's not gonna look right. And then you also don't get an Amaterasu face as well, which, again, I mean, you do get 5 faces, but they probably could have gotten rid of this angry face right here. Like, I don't really need this, and given us an Amaterasu face. That would have been huge. I don't know, I just don't feel as much of a commitment to making a great figure with this as I did with Minato or Orochimaru or Obito or KCM Naruto. It's still really good. It's the Naruto line at the end of the day, so the quality across the board is pretty much perfect. The cloth Akatsuki robe, I think they did a great job on the cloth Akatsuki robe. I'm definitely excited to see how it turns out on Pain and what the Sage Mode cloak is going to be like. Yeah, honestly, not really any complaints with the Akatsuki robe, which is pretty huge for me because I am not a soft goods fan at all, but I don't really have any real issues with the soft goods that they use on this figure. Like, the benny wires are really good. It looks natural. The sleeves are long, but that's accurate to the character, so I can't really be mad about it. And the benny wires are in good spots. Probably could have used some more benny wires up here towards the collar section right there, but minor complaint, minor complaint. Honestly, the soft goods are pretty much a knockout of the park. And I mean, that is technically an accessory, but it's also a pretty necessary part of this character, so it's kind of an accessory, kind of not. And then aside from that, all you get is hands and faces. So, I don't know. Personally, I'm a little more underwhelmed by this figure than I was expecting it to be, but I don't actually think this figure is, like, even remotely bad or anything. It's still great. It's still the Naruto line. I'm still going to give it an S tier, but this is my favorite character this is one of my favorite characters, my second favorite character from my new favorite anime of all time. So, I guess I just overhyped it for myself, unfortunately, but it's still pretty much perfect. I mean, I've recorded this final thoughts segment like 3 times because I keep not really getting across, but I think I finally got it. Sum it up. This is a figure I was ecstatic for, and I do love it, but I don't think this is going to be my number 1 of the year like I was expecting it to be. I don't think so. It'll probably be top 5. I don't think it'll be number 1, though. I actually think Minato was a stronger release than this, personally. Minato had more accessories, and I think he was a little more satisfying to pose around. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. I still love this figure. I still think it's great. I still think every Naruto and Itachi fan should absolutely get this, and I think you'll be really, really happy with it. But you just might be a little, like a tiny bit more underwhelmed than you were expecting it to be. Like, you were expecting it to be the greatest thing ever, like Minato was, but I think it's like, just like a little tiny blip worse. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I'm still giving it an S tier, though. Alrighty, everybody, thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe give me a like and subscribe for some more Naruto S8 Figuarts review in the future. Of course, we got Sage Mode Naruto coming next, and then Pain coming after that, which I think Pain is the one I'm most excited for. Sage Mode Naruto is exciting. I just already picked up a kit for the regular Naruto right here to turn him into Sage Mode, so I'm not as excited for the Sage Mode as I'm sure a lot of other people are, but I am excited for the face sculpts, because right now I'm stuck with the Sage Mode face that comes with Obito as my only expression, so I am excited to get some more face sculpts, and of course the Rasengan. Yeah, okay, I'm really excited for it, and I can't wait to see the plastic scroll. Okay, what? I'm super excited for that figure, yeah. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching the video, and also subscribe for more anime figure reviews in the future. Give me a like if you didn't already, and this is DK Guillotine, signing out.